Hey, what's up? This is John Cena. Press the free like button if you think that it's pretty ironic that Okada is being booked like a comedy guy in all elite wrestling. But this is the main reason why you smart marks didn't want him in the WWE under Vince McMahon. You smart marks are truly bipolar.
You see, this is what I hate about all these diehard, all elite, fake pro wrestling fans because they are huge hypocrites. Huge hypocrites. You see, people are not trying to bring this up. Okay, let's look at Okada's current character in all elite fake pro wrestling. Okay, people are laughing at his heel character. People think he's funny. People think he has great comedic timing based on how he is being presented with the elite in Jack Perry, right? It seems like his favorite word is bitch. And it's funny how he says it based on his accent, right? People are laughing at Okada. He is in comedy like skits, right? For example, last Wednesday, he cut off Max Caster's microphone. And to me, he was funny during that segment. The whole building was laughing. Now all these fans are saying, oh, Okada, he is so funny. He's this, he's that. But hold on. This is why you didn't want him in the WWF, right? So, in hindsight, let's be real. This faction, it feels and it looks like a WWF faction. This looks like a Vince McMahon booked like faction. That's huge irony, but nobody wants to bring that up. This is Bizarro World. Everything that Okada has done in all elite wrestling with the elite. This is why you didn't want him under Vince McMahon, but why is it good? Why is it fine under Tony Khan, man? Right? To me, Okada feels like a comedy act. He feels like Farouk. Remember? Damn. He is a Asian Farouk. But to me, how is that good? This is why you didn't want him in the WWF under Vince McMahon. Because of shit like this. Him making jokes. Him being funny in these segments, in these promos. Like, it's crazy. Why is it acceptable right now? I don't get it. They are doing Vince McMahon-like booking with the elite EVPs. That's what I'm seeing. Because to me, I'm like, hold on. Vince McMahon would book Okada the same way. So why is it fine in all elite fake pro wrestling? And the weird part is, listen, since day one, Okada has been cutting funny comedic promos. But when he was in New Japan Pro Fake Wrestling, he was booked as a serious guy who took himself seriously. But now he's being booked like a comedy guy that should be on the BTE series with the Young Bucks on YouTube. Bro, you didn't want him under Vince McMahon under these circumstances. So why are you accepting this now, right? I'm saying, like, the Vince McMahon hate was fake because what is Tony Khan man doing with Okada that Vince McMahon wouldn't do? You feared that Vince McMahon would turn Okada into a comedy act, like he did with Shinsuke Nakamura. But to me, Shinsuke was into it. Shinsuke, he loved being booked under Vince McMahon. He had his most success under Vince McMahon. But let's talk about Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't get you people. What were you expecting under Vince McMahon or Triple H? Listen, New Japan ain't shit, okay? New Japan Fake Pro Wrestling, they ain't shit. They are a big name indie company. New Japan is not a big deal. It's like, why would Okada be entitled to be pushed like he's Roman Reigns? Like, listen, he comes from a different world. In his world, yes, he was a main event guy, but there's levels to this. This is the big leagues, okay? This is like the NBA. This is the fucking NFL. This is the big leagues. Not everybody is going to translate to being a main eventer in the United States of America. That's not how that works. Oh, listen, Okada If he was in the World Wrestling Federation, I think he would be Shinsuke Nakamura. But that is not a bad thing. What were you expecting from Shinsuke? A guy who has broken English. What were you expecting? He won the World Rumble. To me, he wasn't ready to beat AJ Styles for the world title. But overall, I think he has been a success overall when it comes to his main roster career. Listen, he was a big fish in a small pond in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is the big leagues. This is the WWF. I don't get you people. What were you expecting? Like, you think Shinsuke was world title material under Vince McMahon? No, he was not. He was lucky to win the World Rumble. Bro, he could barely speak English. What were you expecting from him in the United States of America? Like, it's two different worlds. His style fits more New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's like nobody is entitled to be Stone Cold or The Rock or Hogan when it comes to the World Wrestling Federation. You gotta earn your stripes. So, to me, I feel like Shinsuke Nakamura was booked great under Vince McMahon. Because to me, he is a mid-card guy. That's my point. He is a mid-card guy. He is one of those guys where, when it comes to the World Wrestling Federation, he is a mid-card guy. But in New Japan, he's a main eventer. But there's levels. That's why. He's at a different level on the other side of the world. It's like, that's my point that I'm trying to make to you. Now, with Okada, what were you expecting? Okay, what has he done in All Elite Wrestling that has been so impressive where you are saying, oh man, I'm glad he turned down Triple H? Okay, that did not age well. Did it, bitch? That did not age well. Okada turning down Triple H. That did not age well, bitch. Did it? I need answers. It did not age well. Because what is he doing? To me, it looks like he's being booked under Vince McMahon in All Elite Wrestling. That's how it looks right now. He don't look impressive at all. I think Triple H would have booked him better. Because now he's being booked like a comedy joke. It's like, how can I take him seriously now? He's telling jokes. Now his catchphrase is bitch. And yes, it's funny because based on his broken English, yes, it's funny. Based on his broken English, it's funny. But hold on, that's not his character. You didn't want him in the World Wrestling Federation because of what he's doing now. But you are not trying to call that out. He's doing everything now that Vince McMahon would have had him doing in the World Wrestling Federation. So what are we talking about here? What he's doing now, Triple H would not book him like that. So now, like I said, he is the Asian Ron Simmons. It's like, you people, you hurt people's careers. Because listen, I'm just gonna keep it real. I think Okada was brainwashed by his fan base to go to All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. That's what happened. That's my opinion. Because he got brainwashed, right, by the old Vince McMahon regime. But to my knowledge, okay, let's talk about Vince McMahon's last 5 years in the World Wrestling Federation. How is it any worse than what Tony Khan Man has been doing for the past 2 years? How? Right? So to me, Okada made a mistake going to All Elite Wrestling. Because now it's like, do you take him seriously as a main event guy now? It's like, yes, I understand now he has more personality, right? He has more of a character now. But this is why you didn't want him in the WWF. Based on his character right now, he's telling jokes. This is what Vince McMahon would have done with him. Tell me I'm lying. But you smarks don't want to call that out. You don't want to call out the fact that his current gimmick, it looks like a Vince McMahon handed gimmick. That's my point. That is huge irony. That's ironic. That's crazy. Because what are my thoughts about the EVP faction? To me, Tony Khan, man, has dropped the ball on this faction. It's like, wow, bro, you dropped the ball. Because they are supposed to take over the show. But you hired Chris Daniels as your mouthpiece. It feels like Chris Daniels has taken control of this show. But that's dumb. He's supposed to be in a war with the EVPs, but it feels like he has taken over this show. That I don't get it. It don't feel like the EVPs have taken over this show. But that's the point of their gimmick, of their faction. It's like, man, they have dropped the ball. It don't feel like a hostile takeover anymore. It's like Con Man don't know what he's doing. We don't see enough Con Man. It's like, bro, they gave you a Tony Khan Man pile driver. We should be seeing you more on TV. They put you in a fucking neck brace. It's like, where is the outrage? Like, you should be cutting promos on these guys. Do something. You gotta veto their power. Do something. We should be seeing a war. Not Chris Daniels as your mouthpiece, as your mascot. But I don't get it. Like, he is your butler. That's how it looks. It looks like Chris Daniels is his butler. But to get back on Okada, they have dropped the ball on Okada, but Con Man has defeated the purpose of signing Okada. It's like, bro, you turned him into a comedy act. That's the same thing that Vince McMahon would have done with him. So what was the point of him coming here, right? People thought, these smarks thought, the point of Okada coming here was to protect his character, protect his reputation as a serious guy with a serious, like, main event character. Because you smarks thought if he were to go to the World Wrestling Federation, they would change up his character. But Con Man has already changed his character for the worse to me. This dude is a comedy act. It's like, this is why you didn't want him going to the WWF in the first place. But you are accepting it right now as we speak. But I don't get it. You are hypocrites. You are fickle hypocrites. If All Elite Wrestling does it, it's fine. But if Vince McMahon would have booked Okada this same way, you would have said, oh man, he's buried. Vince McMahon is trying to make him a joke. To me, right now, it feels like Con Man is booking Okada just like how Vince McMahon booked Asuka. Tell me I'm lying, man. Tell me I'm lying. That's all I'm saying. What the fuck is the difference? It's like, this is the reason why you did not want him under Vince McMahon, but he's doing the same things that Vince McMahon would have done with him. But it's fine though, right? It's fine in All Elite fake pro wrestling. That's crazy. What do I grade Okada since coming to this company? Right now, I gotta give him a C-, possibly a D-, possibly a D+, based on, bruh, y'all told me this dude was the best in the world. Y'all told me he was the greatest wrestler of all time. Y'all told me this dude had the most 5-star matches. Y'all told me this dude was a fucking star, some fucking legend. That's what y'all told me. I'm not saying it. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a guy that is a upper tier mid-card guy in All Elite Wrestling. He don't look like a main eventer based on his current booking. That's just me. He has fallen into the Young Bucks vortex when it comes to being a comedy guy. That's all I'm saying. So I gotta grade him a D+. D+ since his arrival. Like I said, I had faith in this faction, but obviously Con Man has dropped the ball big time on this faction that had potential. It's like, bro, What are you doing with Jack Perry? Hopefully, Jack Perry will win the TNT Championship. Hopefully. Hopefully, Jack Perry will win the TNT Championship. You got to salvage Jack Perry. I kind of feel like he kind of dropped the ball on Jack Perry. Why didn't you just hand Jack Perry the TNT Championship? Why do we need a goddamn ladder match? Just give the belt to Jack motherfucking Perry. Why jump through hoops? You are trying to put over this faction. But you have failed this faction. You have dropped the ball on the EVPs. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.